Oh, look at
Oh my
that.
goodness.
100%
Music.
100%
Music.
100%
Music.
100% music.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
The sweat on our faces.
Woo.
Trying to get those tech logistics worked
Good
out.
job, Alex.
Good job, man. You did it.
Also sweaty from the TikTok video we just filmed.
Yeah, we're gonna show you guys some
Well,
TikTok.
people are going to
stuff
really
we
see
did.
something soon.
Oh,
What
hey,
everyone
it's-
think of the video?
It's working. I was double checking. I think we're live.
Money,
Officially
Time,
live.
Love officially out. The video and song.
We got the comment section popping off.
I have to say, so it's the premiere of the video, but if you've been following our social media, you could probably piece together all of the little like reels we've made, and you could have probably seen the entire video. So I don't know how much of that was new to a lot of you, like maybe like 15 seconds of it.
I would like to know if any diehard fans took any of the individual clips and
Made a
pieced them
supercut.
together. The band Muse, I remember for one of their records, hid USB sticks all around South America, and each USB stick had like 15 seconds of a song. And when people got online, the Muse community put all the clips together and put together an unreleased song.
And put together one garbage song.
It was
I'm
bad.
gonna
I'm
say that.
kidding. Yeah, it was kind of bad.
We
But
came
we
out
love
of the gates
Muse here.
taking Muse
Yeah.
down right away. 100%.
We're coming out with a
music.
good song. Hey,
We're coming for you, Muse.
what everyone think of the video? I've never seen it before.
Well, we have to. All right. So he's joking that Alex and Austin literally directed and edited that video, and I think it turned out incredible.
Thanks to
Great
the
job, guys.
directors.
That turned out so good. It's just amazing. Free labor is just.
Yeah.
I mean, I get
It's the
it.
best kind of labor.
Hey, but you got you're invested. You're invested in your company.
That's true.
The
Yeah, this is a
reward
no
will be
dancing
there.
productions video here. I guess a little backstory to the video is originally we thought this song was coming out, I don't know, a year ago or something, back in February. So we kind of
A year.
rushed to piece together a video. We're like, we got to do the video. We're dropping the song soon. So me and Alex did the heavy lifting on the editing. We pumped out an edit. We're like, oh my God, it looks great for pumping it out so quickly in a couple days. And then we found out from the label they wanted to hold it for a couple months. So we've been sitting on the video for a while,
Just collecting dust.
collecting dust. But for even being a rushed job, it looks pretty dang
Yeah,
good.
I think
will
there's something
say.
to be, said about not overthinking it.
Exactly. I think the first cut's the best cut most times.
We were trying to be, if you couldn't tell, scrappy with this one.
Would you guys say that this is the director's cut?
It's the only cut. So yeah, we had
That was every
uh,
piece of footage that we filmed is in the video.
basically.
So
Yeah.
let's get it. Want to get into the nitty gritty of it. So I think was it Isaac? You had the initial idea to have it in this kind of like office setting.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of the inspiration for
Definitely.
this.
So getting into a little bit of the inspiration of the song, obviously there's three important words there: money, time, and love. But it's deeper than that. And I wanted to somehow get into like 80s American capitalism and our country's obsession with that. Not to go too political out of the gates here.
Hey, we're
But-
losing viewers here.
Oh yeah, we're dropping off. But I did want to kind of like show that corporate life, whether that even is just like an office space sort of environment. And then we kind of ran with it of like, oh yeah, this song definitely has that energy. Let's make, like Alex, like you said, let's make a scrappy music video that kind of illustrates like this company that we work for. And then we go full office space on it. We start destroying everything in the office. And I think we nailed it.
Well, I think what I noticed when I watch it is like, really, this does not work without the office space that we used. It's kind of like the main character of this video. And so much of this came together. And I think it worked well because we found such an awesome place to film this.
Yes, this is true. Gigster, I think. Is that what
Gigster.
it-
If you guys want to make music videos on the cheap, Gigster's where it's
yeah,
at.
like it's a basically a location rental website where you can find cool spots. In this case, here in LA, but I think I find it or Isaac? Someone found this office online.
You found it. We were just sharing links.
Yeah,
back and
we were
forth,
sharing
but-
links, and there's a spot in Alhambra, which is very close to where we all live, and it's where I live now. But
You like the space so much,
Yeah,
you moved there.
Exactly. I live in the
He
building.
lives in the
Yeah.
office.
But it was literally advertised as 90s retro office space. And we're like, oh, boom, this is us. And it had multiple office rooms, hallways, little conference rooms, had a reception desk. And so it was immediately when we saw that the script wrote itself after we saw the photos of this place.
And there were things in there from the 90s. There was that Subway fax order sheet.
Oh yeah.
That's
Where
the
you-
restaurant Subway.
Yeah.
Yes. There was a really big restaurant in the 90s, not so
Yes.
much anymore.
Yeah.
Not like a Subway you travel on,
No,
like
no.
an order form to get a sandwich that you like
Yeah,
fax.
Not to, we don't want to get into LA's poor transit system here.
But I think what was fun also about this video is that we wanted to keep it simple. We wanted to keep the crew simple and not go out and get like, extra hands. Because for this type of video, you don't really need too many people on hand.
So how many people were on the crew?
There was 5 crew members.
How many people are in the band?
The five crew members were the 5 members of Hembree, and that was it. Which I think made it more fun for us because we were all very hands-on. You're busy the whole time, which a lot of videos, you have a lot of downtime. You can kind of drain your energy. But what was fun about the video or going into the video though, was that we were able to plan out every single shot and kind of correspond. Oh, this will be verse 1. This shot will be verse 2, etc. And pumped it out in 3 hours. I think we had
Knocked
the
out that
space.
video in 3 hours.
And it was plowed through the shots, and then like Alex said, literally every shot's in the cut. There's no to lose
No
no
B-roll.
fat, no fat on that.
And everybody
That's
was in
it.
good spirits. We had fun. Everybody
Yeah.
was working and being productive all day. Unlike some of the, we've had the opportunity to be on some multi-million-dollar video productions.
That's usually how we do it. We wanted to humble.
and we're
you know,
always sitting around
ourselves
waiting
here.
to get called out of our trailer, and it's just a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, we don't like wasting time here at
Or
Hembree
money, or
LLC.
love.
Yeah.
Was there something really fun about just having it be the band? Like, it's really great when you work with like creative directors that have their own vision, but it's just like we're just like so comfortable with each other and so comfortable like throwing out ideas and trying things. And it was just, because we're used to collaborating and working together, and we're already pretty good at that.
Yeah.
So it went really well, and we're just so lucky to have the Ward brothers in this band that can like execute this sort of thing at a high level.
Yes,
So
thank
that's-
you to the Ward
yeah.
brothers. There's a lot of famous director duos that happen to be brothers. I think you guys are the next ones in
Or the
Hollywood.
Safety, or the
Yep.
Safety
Yeah, with
bros.
the new Safties.
Maybe more like the
video.
guys who did Dumb and Dumber, but
Fairley Brothers. Yeah.
Mom is in the chat. She says, "Cool T-shirt, Austin." That is
yes.
the Invasion, a band Dad used to play in back in the
Yes.
day. Also,
Speaking
Garrett
of 80s
Childers.
bands, this
80s
is
band.
the ultimate 80s
and
band.
Steven Shireman's in the thread saying Blink 182 always vibes. Yep. Shout out Steve. Shout out Blink 100%.
Garrett Childers, bass player in Hembree, is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. If you feel like chatting with him, he did remind us that we were worried about the video day. The Chiefs were playing the Dolphins that night.
Yeah. So we
You
had
guys
to
had a
wrap-
hard out.
We had a hard out.
Mhm.
Usually I'm available whenever for anything Hembree, but when it comes to the Chiefs being on at 3:30 in the afternoon, all the games start a little bit earlier on the West Coast. Eric and I had to be out of there. We had some other business that day.
I think me and Alex went to a screening of the 80s original Batman
that
with a
night.
live orchestra that night. So we also had a hard out
I had a hard out.
for the exact opposite
And a hard-on.
reason. Yeah. Well, we all had hard-ons just for different reasons.
Isaac, tell us a little bit about Money Time Love musically, the inspiration, the
Definitely.
production. What were the bands that you were inspired by or listening to at the time of Money Time Love?
For sure. I mean, this one goes deep on Deep Huey Lewis.
Here we baby.
We got the record here, folks. Check it out. Check it out. If you
I
don't know,
brought that out
sports-
without. I don't know if we'd actually. Maybe we in the studio we had discussed it a little bit that might have been an influence, but in the back of my mind that was always like this sounds
Yeah.
like a Huey
Oh, yeah.
alternate version.
Yeah, and I kind of this happens sometimes. Like you'll start singing a melody or a song, and it's kind of a joke in a sense to you. Like I was kind of just dancing around my kitchen, and that got hit with money. Everybody needs a little money, and then just kind of went rolling with that, and we were kind of just laughing about it. And I was like, wait, hold on. And I had that little bass line that starts the song, and I was like, I think there's something to this, and it should feel like this big anthemic sort of party song, and really went all in on that vibe. There's some weird like Kenny Loggins and Huey
hear
Lewis
that.
sort of inspiration, but then when we did the first demo, you really hear that it's very 80s inspired. And then naturally, when we get the whole band together, it starts to sound more and more like Hembree, and then it also starts to rock a little bit more. Specifically, you put Austin on the drums on that, and you cut him loose. It's like Animal from the Muppets, baby.
That's right. Which we did add a nice. I mean, the song starts with an '80s rototomish Phil Collins. I mean, can't get more '80s.
And
than
I think
that.
on the demo they were programmed, but I think we tracked it for real.
Here's the demo a little bit.
Similar.
It's real similar.
What was I doing with you guys?
Wow. I mean, the biggest difference is this having the real drums.
Yeah, the
for
energy
sure.
from the drums.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that song came out fully cooked. You didn't need us for that one.
Well, I will say, if you listen really closely, we added the real upright piano that gives it that sort of saloon feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then, really that person just clanking away on the keys.
Whoever that was.
Yeah, whoever that would have been. That guy we hired named Eric
Yep.
Davis. He was good.
It's always so great to get, it's so funny. A real piano, it makes such a big difference. It adds so much character in the same way that adding real drums to it, it really brings a song to life. I feel like.
Yeah, we added the real drums, we added the real keys, and then Alex kind of just did some scatting all over the track.
I did some scatting. That's what I'm known for.
No, but it turned out great because I think you guys heard that original demo and everyone kind of unanimously had a vision for where that song should go. And it has, I think, the best live energy of like any Hembree song to date. It really jumps out of the speakers, and I want to continue to try to make that happen with
And we
our
can
sound.
credit our drum engineer in this case,
Yes,
Martin
Cook.
Martin Cook over at King Size or Kinged Size.
King size.
Kinged Size.
King size.
That's what I'm
size.
going to
Martin-
I'll take a king size drum. fill.
Martin is an imaginary person and king size doesn't exist. Now, Martin's an amazing engineer, and we've used him specifically for drums on several tracks.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
He did
And then,
Testament to the drummer.
Austin, you played the hell out of those drums on this one, my
Sure
friend.
did.
You came in, and it's not always a one take operation here when either of us are on the kit. It more so when you're on the kit, it's closer to one. I'm about 14, 15 takes.
Yeah.
But that is
But
interesting. That
You
people do
slayed
find
those drums.
people always do find that interesting that Isaac started as a drummer and he does play drums on some of the songs. I'd say
Yeah.
Austin does the majority of it. But that is always two drummers, and it's a really great. We talked about this the other day with our friend Vincent.
Yeah.
About how useful it is as a songwriter and as a producer to start coming from the drum perspective, because so many times when you're recording a song, the first thing that you're tracking a lot of the times is that drum track.
Yes.
And getting that right, and then that really sets the tone for the rest of the song.
Yep.
And that's why we take drums really, really seriously, and we go and we record with Martin and his studio, and we make sure those drums are perfect. Then we end up doing quite a bit of it on our own after that.
Yeah.
And we've been told by a few mastering engineers that maybe the drums are a little too hot in the mix.
Well, there's one thing, again, how we felt comfortable shooting the video together. We also feel very comfortable giving each other very detailed critiques and mix notes, and everyone handles them really well. But I always know, and I even try to get ahead of it, but I always know Austin's main two mix notes are going to be turn that kick up and turn that snare up. And he's not wrong. Everybody likes kick and snare.
Everyone likes kick and snare. I mean, a song like this, you got to have the punch from the
Yes.
drums to
that
drive it
energy.
home. Yeah, keep it home.
Also,
then
shout out
Mastering, sorry, yes.
No,
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to also shout out
What's
the
mastering?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh,
We'll
great one.
save that for another episode.
Well, I was going to give the whole crew shout out.
Yeah,
Or-
True.
Shout them out.
You
Ian
got it.
Sefcik of a band that you love.
And we'll have Ian. We should definitely chat with him sometime about this on the pod. But Ian Sefcik of a band called Creeper
Creeper
Lagoon, who had
Creeper
put out one of
Lagoon.
Take Back the Universe and Give Me Yesterday was the album front to back. A phenomenal record. So I freaked out when we first started working with Ian. He does an amazing job, cranks the tunes, but keeps them warm. And I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of the mastering process,
We'll
but
do
made
a,
it sound great.
a 100% mastering special.
That's right.
But he really did have this track super tight. It's really, everything's glued together, and it really, I don't know. I keep saying that it really jumps out of the speakers, and maybe that's something I've just made up in my head, but
No, it does.
it
No, it does.
really jumps out. So
Speaking of, last thing about the mastering, just to a testament to how it jumps out of the speakers when editing the video and you lay in the wave file of the mastered version, the highest quality version of the song you can get. Normally you have basically an audio peaker, and that puppy was somehow peaked.
it's hot.
It was hot. I had to turn down the track just the tiniest amount because this thing is maxed.
Yeah.
which is a good thing for a rock band. That is honestly what you want, is you want to play it next to any other song. You want that thing to blast them out of the water.
So if anyone's unhappy with the volume of the music video, Austin turned it down a little bit.
Little like 0.1 decibel.
I would like to bring up, the song does something a little different for Hembree. I'm trying to think of some other songs that maybe we do it, but it begins with the chorus. Bold move.
Holy Water.
Holy Water begins with the chorus.
Yeah,
You're right. But a stripped down version of it.
Yeah, mellowed out. This is just straight
right into the chorus.
Straight into
what
it.
other songs, maybe folks in the chat, if you want to chime in on this, what other songs can you think of that kick out of the gate with the chorus?
Ooh, best song to start with the chorus, Help by the Beatles.
That's great.
That's it. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think that's like what's better than just going right out the gates with the best part of the song.
And I'm unfamiliar with this band, but
but no, I love that move to do that. I mean, you obviously don't want to do it every time, but I'm kind of surprised that more, especially pop artists, don't want to start with the catchiest, probably best part of your song right off the top, as opposed to, I mean, obviously it's great when you build up to it and you know, you get like that climax and that
payoff
to the payoff of that, which is awesome. But I'm surprised that you don't hear that more, but I'm sure we could probably think of a few off that. But that's one that always sticks in my head.
Melby in the chat said, "Shout, Tears for Fears." That's so
true.
That's
good
fantastic. One. Great one. Anyone else in the comments have any great songs that start with the chorus?
Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams.
That's a great one. By Marilyn Manson. Notably by Marilyn Manson.
Alex mostly knows music from 1994 to 1998.
Don't bore us, get to the chorus. It is the famous saying, and
by
it is
Tom
funny.
Petty.
Did he say that?
I've always heard it was Tom Petty.
That seems like a Petty maxim for sure.
That's what I've always heard. But I also was thinking about Blur song 2. Is that straight to the chorus?
Literally about to say that, except he doesn't give the vocal lines all the way through. He comes in
woohoo.
But like, to me, that is the chorus, is the riff. I'm like, that's an opening with the chorus.
Well, then that's the same as,
because that's like the riff is the chorus.
Yeah, that's Nirvana. Never, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
But
technically starts
but
with
he
the chorus
sings the chorus over it later.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd say that's kind of in the middle there.
Yeah,
but the gray, for sure.
Gray area.
Wahoo is definitely the main vocal line of songs.
Was that Mario?
That's how.
Has anyone done Blur song 2 with Mario doing the lyric, doing it?
We only know the Kids Bop version.
Someone threw in a really good all about the bass, all about that bass, Meghan Trainor.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So she's a pop star who said, "I'm going to hit him with the chorus."
Hit him with the chorus out of the gate.
Smart move, Megan. Smart.
And that's kind of what I was thinking with this song. Is I was like, "What would Trainor do?"
Yeah,
and then I did it.
That's what we say that for. We say that for most of our songs. What would Meghan Trainor do, and what would the Beatles do?
I like this idea. We start to just do interviews, and they're like, "Who are your big influences?" Meghan Trainor
and Rebecca Black.
If you want to, I mean, hell, if you want to write songs that like literally are stuck in people's heads to a point where they might need to like go to therapy, I mean, that Meghan Trainor can do that. I mean, my God.
Jesus,
some catchy tunes there.
For the folks that are going to listen to this on audio only later, you have no idea how frightening our cat is, looking dead down the barrel of the camera lens right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I like it.
By the way, everyone watching this, you have 7 days to live.
You've officially been cursed.
You have been cursed.
Sorry about that. But
I gotta take a photo of this.
La Freak.
But yeah, so
La Freak.
Oh, nice. By Chic. Love it.
By Chic.
Melby is a music encyclopedia.
I was gonna say Melby's gonna know all the songs that start with the banging chorus.
That is true.
Well, yeah, keep hitting us with those. So I think we talk about we have an album that's going to come out, and we obviously really like Money Time Love, and I guess we can reveal here that is going to be track 1.
Oh, I thought you were about ready to say you're gonna reveal it's on the album.
It's going to be track 1 on the album, and that is something that like we really love this song, and we really feel like is going to set the tone for the rest of the album, and that's how much we like it.
We do love this song. Austin, you called it really early on out of the gates. You were like, "Hey, I think this definitely should be one of the lead singles."
Mm-hmm.
In classic Austin fashion, he was like, "It's just so banging."
Banging.
And I do remember we were all messing with the track listing over the past couple months for the album order, and I don't think anyone had it first. And then I was like, "Guys, can we just put it first?" Like,
yep, that was
Yeah,
and
quit being stupid.
Yeah, I was like, why are we messing around here? And then you dump it track 1. You're like, oh well, there you go. That sets the tone just right.
Well, that's another thing. So we talked about putting the chorus up top in a song, but in an album, putting like your lead single up top. If you want to hit us with some of those, that's there you go too.
Okay, so I've always had a problem with this one. I'm always skeptical of a record that has their biggest single or the 1st single is track 1 on the record. It leaves me a little nervous to buy the record because I'm like, is that the best that they have to offer? Where they were like, this is the best song. We're putting it as the single, and it's also track 1. It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about our album?
No, because I know there are better songs on the album.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I'm confident in the album.
No, I would agree. I think that's the fun part about being in a band and being able to make your track list. In our case, we take track listing quite serious. So, so it's all about the ebb and the flow of the whole entire album. So when we put the song first, it's not because it's the the most heat out of the album.
Absolutely.
It's just it sets the vibe
tone
and flows, and then by the end of the album, it's this cohesive.
Yeah, and it's always
piece of
interesting
work.
because coming out with Money Time Love, it's a great show opener and it's a great record opener.
Yep.
I don't know if in any of our other albums, if the first track's a great live opener.
Well, we tried. That's funny.
Reach out.
Our first record, House on Fire, for those that know, we had a song called I Don't Know Why on there, and we haven't played it much live.
We don't know why we put it as track. Well, I actually love it as track 1, and it goes into culture. I actually think it's.
I was
I
gonna
think
say.
it's a fantastic track
Well, we
1,
just
but
never
for
played
some
it.
reason, and we could talk more about this maybe in the future, but that's one that maybe live we've never been able to make translate as well as it did on the record, which explains why we haven't played it live.
And
But an amazing track 1.
I think we knew Culture was going to be song 2.
Yeah.
And then Joe Vishano, who mixed that record, amazing mix engineer, he actually put the transition in between song 1 and 2 as a little like Easter egg. He sent it to us and just said, hey, just listen to these, import them into your
Back to
iTunes
back.
and listen to them back to back. And I think our brains all exploded.
Oh, they definitely did. I think we were all like, this is one. and
You're not
two.
gonna you're not gonna bury that 9 and 10.
No, it's pretty cool. I do like. I'm still happy we did that. I think that's cool. And then we did on Reach Out, was kind of the lead single on It's a Dream, and that's track 1 on that one.
That
So I guess
record-
we're big track 1 band.
Big track 1 guys. Maybe next record we'll do one of those boring intros. There's 36 seconds, and no shade on those either. But I'm seeing in the comments here, this is a great one. Foo Fighters did that with Monkey Wrench. That's an amazing live opener and album opener, in my opinion.
The track 1 of that record is a doll.
Yeah, there's like it's a short
It's an
song,
intro.
but it's like an intro mellow song, and then it blasts right
which
into
is
Monkey Wrench,
awesome.
which is a great combo. Monkey Wrench is basically the first track, but first song, but there's definitely like a very mellow instrumentation. There's vocals on it, but it sets up Monkey Wrench.
Do you guys have a favorite track 1 on an album off the top of your heads? Is anything that comes to you immediately? I have one. I have one as my favorite. I'm forgetting the name of the album, but it's a Japanese Breakfast last album, Paprika.
Great
I think
opener.
And I love it because it just sets the table for the whole album beautifully. And I feel like it's the strongest song on the album, but it doesn't take away from it. It's not like, oh, well, I'm done listening to it. I've heard everything I need to hear. And so hopefully I hope Money Time Love makes people feel that way, where it's kind of like a statement that kind of welcomes you in to the rest of the album.
I'll throw one in.
Yeah, let's go.
9 Inch Nails, big surprise. With Teeth, All the Love in the World. It's a amazing song, sets the album, but then the rest of the album sounds nothing like that song. And it's so cool that he threw in this weird, kind of beautiful song, and then it just gets gnarly.
That's funny. Austin and I are on the same wavelength there. I was thinking 9 Inch Nails, The Fragile, Somewhat Damaged is one of the great opening songs that lends itself to like, get ready. You're about to listen to 2 hours of shit being thrown at your face. Buckle up. Send it off in the comments though. Favorite track 1s on an album. We're big album guys.
This is a funny reference.
Party Hard by Andrew W.
Oh, amazing.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
this is a bit of a funny reference, but I always have my track 1s were always like what I was mowing the lawn to when I was a kid. So Blink-182 Anthem Part 2, I can hear the drums starting in my head, and it starts with this and every time it gets me, it just gets me in the mood for Tom DeLonge's vocal.
It sounds like you starting up the engine to the mower.
Well, Nirvana, Nevermind, starts with Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
What was
You
so
can't
great?
come out much hotter than that.
That's a
That's
tough
kind
one
of
to
the
top.
ultimate to come out with. Yeah.
What was so great about that era was you had your Walkman, and it fit perfectly into your baggy pants.
When mowing.
So when you're
I
mowing
know
it, you got
Skip
your
Walkman.
headphones in there, your big old headphones, your baggy pants on. Walkman fits in perfectly. I mean, maybe you're sagging a little bit,
Dude,
and that's adding a little weight, and those pants might be coming down if you're not careful.
I had the iPod Classic or whatever.
I
I
thought-
was an iPod boy.
Okay. Well, you're the youngest in the band, so
That's true.
How old am I?
Aaron says Cherub Rock. We don't talk pumpkins on this podcast. I'm sorry, Aaron. Oh, there's some Pearl Jam love. Go. I was thinking a couple Pearl Jam records.
They always have great open. I
Rain
think
of
every
J on
Pearl
Yield is a
Jam
great
their
opener.
best.
Can we just throw out there that the new Pearl Jam is really good?
It's
Oh,
ripping.
it's got a great track one. Maybe the
Great-
best song on the album.
Great track two. One and two are banging.
Yeah.
I don't remember what number Dark Matter is, but that
I
song.
think it's
Four.
3 or 4. It's
Yeah,
early on, which is also great.
I would say it's a great moment right now for a couple. I hate to quote unquote legacy bands, but Vampire Weekend, St. Vincent, and Pearl Jam all put out stellar records well into their careers.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really exciting, and definitely we hope to be doing the same.
Are we a legacy band? Just
Well,
I
because
think
we're on
after,
album.
after
Getting there
year
quickly.
two, after year two, you're a legacy band. I think that's
Yeah.
how the
Yeah,
the
we're a
cycle
legacy band.
works.
We were a hot young band pre-COVID, and then
Should-
we came out of COVID as a legacy artist.
Should the new album just be called like Legacy Album?
greatest hits. Greatest hits.
Let Greatest Hits is a great
Every
record.
greatest
name.
hit.
Here's a great question in the
Nick,
thread.
yeah, Nick asks,
Go ahead, your same one.
do you guys have similar taste in music listening? And we can talk about maybe
Yeah.
growing up into now, and do we still have the same tastes in music listening?
Well, that's a good question because I feel like, I mean, obviously Alex and Austin like a lot of the same things, but you guys are a little bit, or have some, why
There's a
don't you start with you guys
Big
there?
part of the Venn diagram overlaps, and then there's quite a bit of it.
Within the band,
Extra.
yes. I would say lots of
into the
overlap
band, too.
with the band. But then I would say individually, we definitely all have our little outliers that the rest of us appreciate, acknowledge, but maybe not listen to or secretly thinks garbage. But
Name one that you know everyone likes.
No, I'm trying to think. I was really hoping I could come up with one that someone in the band likes that I think secretly garbage.
Because we all know, like you love your like 90s and like 2000 rock. That
I do. Not
And
to
then,
say I'm
like-
not. I stay up with the times, but
Oh, you're hip with the
Oh,
time.
I'm fucking hip with
Oh,
the times.
Alex listens to more music than anybody in the band. I think we could easily say
Yeah,
that.
but I
Alex is the
love
biggest.
my
He's the
90s.
biggest music listener in the band. And then then Garrett likes a lot of like folk and more like
Americana
earthy-
for sure.
Garrett has
earthier kind of
Garrett has a
stuff.
very knowledgeable
Yes.
breadth of especially older soul and
Yes.
yeah.
And
Garrett and I both get down on classic rock pretty big time, like
Mhm.
and even stuff like that is more Americana driven. And then it's weird because with the Venn diagram, there are these bands that we all unanimously
Yeah.
agree on.
yes.
We're all going to agree on certain artists, and they'll be our biggest influences kind of collectively. The Beatles, we
Yeah.
all like
Toby
those guys. Yeah.
The Tobster,
As
Toby.
R.I.P.
T-Man, as we call him.
John
Big
Bon
T.
Jovi.
We do love Jovi. No, but there are some artists that we would all, I guarantee, go to a show and see together. I mean, we went to Paul McCartney together, which
We
was
did.
amazing.
And we went to Queens of the Stone Age
Yeah,
together.
we
We
did.
did.
Yes,
That
we
was
did.
also amazing. And then there are definitely outliers like the Wards. You guys are probably the most rocking in the band. I'm just gonna give you
pretty
the
rockin'.
credit. You guys are the most
Pretty
rocking
rockin'.
dudes in the band.
I definitely listen probably to the most electronic kind of stuff. As a synth player, obviously.
Yes.
That's skew more electronic.
And you probably
things.
have the most knowledge of like classical music and stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, definitely. I grew up doing orchestra. I played bass in the orchestra and really fell in love with classical music. Really like that kind of like post-romantic kind of era of classical
Yeah, I
music.
don't know my bot
would
from my
really-
Schubert. From my
Oh,
Sherbert.
Well, that's another podcast, and I don't know if I could even be on that podcast. I could listen to that one, but yeah, I like to dabble in that, but I'm by no means an expert in that. But I do love classical music, and I guess I like to have some little bit of jazz. I like jazz because I literally have no idea what's going on, and I feel like it's the one genre of music where I can listen to that way. And there's almost like a magic of like, because like a lot of pop music, when you listen to a lot of it, you're kind of like, oh, well, you kind of know how the song's going to go,
Yeah.
and what it's going to go to next. Jazz is really fun because I'm just like, I literally have no idea what's happening
Yeah,
or where
that's-
it's going to go. But I'm definitely not like a big jazz guy.
that's
though.
probably the only genre of music that I sometimes can just not comprehend what's happening.
exactly.
Which I like it for that reason, because as a musician, as a producer, and a songwriter, and same for all of us, when we go see bands, there's this tendency to almost say, oh, I know how they're doing that. A little bit of the magic is hidden or is missing. And then
Exactly.
with going to see like an elite level jazz musician, and I just know I could never do anything like that. My brain doesn't even function like that.
The more we're
It's
talking about
pretty
jazz,
cool.
the viewers are just falling out of it.
Let's get back to rock and roll.
We're down to just Melby watching. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No, but no, that is a great question though, because obviously as a band, it's good when I feel like sometimes if you have all the same interests, you kind of create like
You get a
inbred.
tribute band.
It's like inbred music where it's so like derivative of one thing, and you just don't want to do that. So it's nice when you have some diverse interests in the band itself, where you're coming from different angles. And that's one of my favorite things about being in a group is the collaboration and kind of the crazy kind of fun ideas you come up with. That you really couldn't on your own, and there is definitely a magic to that, and I love and I really love everybody's perspective that they bring to the band individually.
I think the diversity in the musical taste really shows up the most when we're on tour, and whoever's driving usually picks the music, whether it's a podcast or an album, and there's maybe at least once a day on a drive that someone in the back of the van will be like, who's this? And whoever's driving will be like, oh, it's so-and-so. Like, oh, you've never heard this? And they're like, oh, it's pretty cool.
And
it's usually Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah. and then the person will go back to bed. But
you're talking about yourself here.
It's in that moment though where everyone else in the van can also hear like, oh, so-and-so didn't know this band, cool, because now they know it and they like it. And then you kind of share that taste within the five of us, on tour you learn a lot about
I love that about
and I also love, and I'm not going to call it bad music, but Alex does have a little bit of a love for going deep dive on the catalogs of like we'll call them legacy artists. and not even
now you're using that term very loosely.
Well, and also you love to get into bands of that era's new music too. So when Collective Soul drops something brand new,
I stick with them. You
stick with them.
When I have unfortunately a tendency when I find a band I like, especially from bands like 20 years ago that I was into, I don't discard bands very easily. I stick with them through their entire career to my own detriment.
You do. No, it's amazing. And that's what you dream of as a
loyal.
That's true.
Loyal listener.
I'm the best fan any band could have.
And I also want to say is with music, I feel like it is so important as a band and as an artist to always stay current and be listening to what's happening, and it's so great to appreciate all the old things and the things you grew up with and things you love and discovering older stuff, but it's very important to always be discovering new music. And Alex also does a really good job bringing new things that have just come out and being like, hey, this just came out. I mean, maybe it is Collective Soul's new album, but maybe it's like a popular artist. Or you introduced us to The Last Dinner Party very early in the game, didn't you?
That was
Austin.
Oh no, it was Austin. Okay,
but we're
sorry.
Interchangeable.
But
most of the time,
but okay, so it was
right.
Austin.
That was
but
sick.
you were you were with that one. You were very early to the game with that one, and now they're extremely popular, and I absolutely love them.
Yeah, that new album's great.
So that's a really
speaking of Alex's musical taste, I think it might be a good opportunity.
Ooh, I see where you're going.
To lean into this week's record of the week.
Record of the week. Let me see if I can cue it up. Too late.
No,
Record of the week. Well, obviously we were talking about Money Time Love and the influences, inspirations behind it, and some of the sounds and feelings it was evoking for me. Huey Lewis was a big one. Yep. I think we've done enough talking about Huey Lewis and specifically sports.
And I will say, obviously, the musical aspect, but also the
wardrobe.
The wardrobe aspect was a huge influence on the music video. The kind of the 90s oversized suit, tie, loose tie. I mean,
as far as we know, we went to Goodwill and that we could have purchased that exact suit.
Yeah. Oh, it was there.
Oh, I think we had that on set for sure.
Yeah, we did. We did literally go to a Goodwill and we got those suits and we spent like $45.
Yeah.
But I think they look pretty sick. I'm into them.
We had the vision, and that just shows if you have a good idea, you don't need the money,
That's
baby.
Right.
Even though what I'm preaching in the song is everybody needs a little money. You just need a little money so you can get those Goodwill suits.
My record of the week, though, is going to be the artist Robert Palmer, Addictions Volume 1, which is a bit of and maybe it's a bit of a cheat, but Addictions Volume 1 is somewhat of a greatest hits record. Some of the songs have been remixed from his catalog. Some are like new masters, new mixes of the songs. So it's a bit of a cheat, but I wanted to bring up Robert Palmer because he was one of my favorite 70s, 80s, and early 90s era for lack of a better word, what I refer to now as sexy dad rock. We were introduced at a young age. My dad was always playing Robert Palmer. He's the kind of guy that can get away.
Tell me this ain't sexy.
Kind of guy that get away with a naked butt on an album
Wait,
cover.
can we show the other side of it?
Oh, it's
'Cause
even
there's this
zoomed in even
picture,
more.
and he's like looking at it.
Oh yeah,
But what you don't know, that's his butt. That's Robert Palmer's
Oh.
butt.
yeah. He's a fit.
So he's looking
Fit
at
as a
his
fiddle.
He's looking at his
He's
own
loving
butt.
his butt.
Yeah, he's got a good butt.
Lots of great records from Robert Palmer, but there's he did an amazing thing where he had that kind of Huey Lewis, for lack of a better word, limited range voice, but knew how to use it perfectly and delivered everything from like some soulful ballads early on to like dabbled in some new wave, was a little bit of the head of the curve as far as when it went to music videos and MTV with Addicted to Love is the famous music video with all the dancers, the beautiful woman with lipsticks and suits dancing behind him.
Would you say that you're hoping that we become known as sexy dad rock?
I would hope it would be an honor to
Yeah.
end our career as sexy dad rock.
Well, 4 of us need to get to work on that. We got one guy holding down the dad.
That's true.
And that
Garrett's
should
the only sexy
qualify.
dad.
Yeah, I guess we could. Yeah, technically we could be in on
I
that.
think we're already sexy though, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
We got that part
yeah.
down.
Anyway, all of Robert Palmer's records are great, but in particular, there's a few songs such as Jealous that are incredible, Addicted to Love. All the singles are awesome. There's a song called Clues that I looked up, was one of the first to use a specific kind of synthesizer that had an arpeggiator just running the entire time, and they built a song around it, and it was like kind of avant-garde and on the cutting edge of new wave at the time. Look it up. It's all
Check it
great
out.
stuff.
Johnny and
Mary.
Johnny and Mary, one of the best songs.
It's been remade
Ever
by
written.
several. I think Roxy Music did a version of it.
And
Brian Ferry did.
Todd Tierjay.
So I have a
great cover.
question. I've never listened to a Robert Palmer album. Why should that be the one I start with?
Addictions Volume 1, a bit of a cheat. It is the greatest hits, so you're going to get all of his eras combined into one, and you'll be able to get a better idea of how transformative he was as an artist in the different varieties of music that he was able to pull off seamlessly, in my opinion.
So I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I can skip everything. I can get everything.
You can
I
go
get
into
the whole,
Addictions
I
Volume
can
1.
get the whole palette there.
Yeah, Addictions Volume
Beautiful.
1, and then 2 years later, Addictions Volume 2 came out which had further singles and remixes. But he passed away early 2000s due to lung cancer, and he seemed like the kind of guy that probably smoked a lot.
He earned it. He earned that.
I think that was the cause of death, and yeah, he went out on fire, baby.
Well, good for him.
Does he have a lighter in the album cover?
Oh, he's got lighters on every album cover. He's chain smoking in every album cover, I believe. But shout out to my dad for introducing us at a young age to Robert Palmer, and has only become more and more one of my favorite artists the more I've listened to him over the years.
Great record of the week, Al.
Record of the week.
Money Time Love.
We're back.
Yeah, let's get back. Let's get back to the song here.
If you could choose one in your life, infinite money, infinite time, or infinite love, band members, what would you choose? Sound off in the comments. Let us know. Infinite money, infinite time, infinite love. Which would you choose, and perhaps why?
All right, I think I know
Eric.
which one I can rule out. I don't want infinite time. I think that's I think that's unnecessary. I think that's I don't think you want that as a human being to be like to be like a god. I don't want to be a god.
It's a bit of a curse.
It's like a curse.
curse.
Yeah, I don't know if I
You don't
want
to live
that.
forever.
So I can do that. So now the question is for me, is it between money or love? And I'll say I think the most important thing is happiness.
Money.
And I don't think, I think you gotta go infinite love, because I feel like to me that equates infinite happiness. And I don't think you can do better than that.
I will
That's fair.
join you on the love team love. Connor Oberst. I think
Yeah,
that was his
yeah.
record
That's
label.
right.
I'm going to go with Infinite Love as well, because the happiest times in my life, and I'm not going to lie and say that having a little cash doesn't
Mhm.
hurt. It's nice to be able to have your basic amenities, have your comfortable living. But I will say that I don't ever remember like specific amounts of money I had in my bank account, other than when I was in college and I had no money in my bank account. But any other time it's been kind of steady and I haven't worried about money and I've just enjoyed my life, I've been the happiest. And
that's love.
and that's love, man. Yeah, man.
Is
The
any-
Beatles, dude.
Is anyone picking?
Is anyone going to pick
Oh, yeah,
money?
I know. Going money.
I'm going
Yeah, okay, I
hard.
love it.
Okay, good,
hard
good.
money. I think you guys are fool. I'll just say, yeah, I'm gonna go money, infinite money.
Because
Only
you got all the
because-
time
Well,
for
yeah,
love.
Well, with infinite money, I'm
Mhm.
not worried about love, baby. I got love.
You're in a sexy dad band.
Exactly. With infinite money, I know I can then get infinite love and probably get infinite time with technology these days. So I'm going to go money for sure, because I think the other two won't be affected. My love's set and my time, it's what it is. But money, I'll take all the money in the world.
Do you think
Infinite money.
Elon's happy?
Well,
But that has nothing to do with time or love.
my personality trait's a little different than Elon.
I don't know. You've been over at the Tesla factory all week.
I guess like the thing is that, like, okay, if you're the type of person who has made infinite money, you're probably a weirdo. But if you were
That's true.
dropped into the infinite
Exactly.
money situation,
You'd have a different
not with that,
appreciation,
then you
perhaps.
might be able to live your life and make a big
I
difference
think
in other
I'm
people's
old
lives.
enough to know that I would manage that infinite money well.
Because
and
you know
I
yourself.
I know myself. I wouldn't let it affect my personality too much.
Well, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
find a way to get you some infinite money and see how
Flash
you
forward
change.
a month from now, and then I just don't talk to you guys anymore. That's
You're the
You
only
buy-
one that's made any money.
You buy your own
Out.
studio, and
All
Alright,
the royalties
alright,
went to Austin.
All right, we need Alex's answer.
I'm going to say infinite money. Not
Yeah.
not,
Good
not that I
case.
disregard, but infinite time. Give me another 30, 40 more years on this earth. I'm ready to go. I don't need any more after that. Infinite love. I've got all the love I need. I got my bandmates
Yep,
right here. I
that's
got
true.
I got my friends. I got my family. I'm rich with love. What more love do I need?
It's a good point.
I do think with infinite money, especially after undergoing recently a big move and having to buy a couch for the first time. Did you know how expensive couches are? I had no idea some of these adult purchases. I would
You're
take
right.
infinite
Hembree needs money.
Infinite
Let's all
money.
just change.
Oh,
in a
let's go with money.
heartbeat.
Venmo at Hembree Music.
I think with also with more resources, with more money, I buy myself more time. I'm not going to be focused on things that I don't want to do.
Exactly.
I see where you're
You'd
going
be
with
able
this.
to travel more, just relax more, because money isn't an issue.
I think we're going really money heavy right now. I want to make another point about love.
No, you lost, I think.
Infinite love. When you're thinking, like, what does that actually mean? If you have infinite love and everybody just like loves you, they'll be willing to do things for you, and you could make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like Trump.
You could make, yeah. He's got that from some people.
But also with
But
infinite
infinite
love, if
love
everyone
could be
loves me,
used.
kind of sounds a bit much to me. And I'm like, leave me alone.
You don't
Leave,
know me.
leave me alone with my
Well,
money.
well, if they truly love you, they'll respect that. You
That's
know.
true. That's true.
I think with infinite
true.
love, you will have plenty of money. You'll be fine. You'll have all the connections and resources you need through that love. So if we want to really get deep into that, but I don't know. Do we have any? Do we have anything in the comment section?
Aaron in the comments says time. Then you can work on money and cultivate love.
Fair point.
That's
point.
very fair
Beautiful.
point. It's
That's
correct.
true.
Incorrect,
Yeah.
but that's a good point.
Correct.
You're wrong, but thank you.
Thank you for playing, Aaron.
Ray Lynn says infinite love. Sharing love with everyone would be the best way to go. I think so.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
And Adam says money. Love has got to be unique and real. If love is infinite, it's not special.
Ooh,
Good point.
That's a fantastic
Okay.
answer.
Great point.
But I'm trying to live my life like a dog.
Well, that's what, yeah,
They
that's
have no concept of time.
Yeah,
No
want
money.
you want infinite love? Get a dog. There you
That's
go.
right.
There
That's
you
true.
go. You got it.
Yeah.
A friend of Hembree's, Mock, also who's been on the podcast,
Mhm.
recently made a reel on Instagram with a bunch of dogs and money time love in the background. So if anyone else who's watching has that in them, to go out there and make a reel with your dog,
I like that.
let's
Whatever
go viral with this
Cat.
thing.
whatever
Cat,
your
duck.
perception of money time
Exactly.
love
Duck.
is.
If
Money-
you got a duck, if you got ducks, I want a money time love video with ducks in it.
Money time duck.
I mean, it would be infinitely grateful if we could get a duck video.
Okay, hear me out here, and we're going
Yeah.
a little tangent. We always do at the end of our
Yeah.
episodes. Money time, the money time duck. It's a Hembree mascot.
It's a mascot.
who waddles around the stage while we play.
We're bringing a
What-
duck on stage, folks.
All right, describe the duck
The duck kind
before
of.
I sign on. I'm gonna
No,
sign off
It
on it.
looks like the Mighty Ducks mascot, I think, like the hockey mascot.
So it's like
Okay.
slightly intimidating.
yeah, you're a little afraid of it, but then it's also shooting money out of a confetti
What's
cannon.
that monstrous mascot?
Gritty.
Gritty. Is it
Mm.
kind of like a gritty
It's
duck?
kind of like a gritty duck with a beak.
Okay,
It's a little horrifying.
maybe like claws too.
No claws.
for
Do
some
ducks
reason.
have claws?
Like it's smiling, but it has like gnarly claws.
Yeah. Crazy teeth.
Yeah, yeah.
See, if we had infinite money, we could
could build
buy
that.
that.
The money time duck.
We could pay for that.
All right. So what we want to try to do, but before we go, we were talking about another little question that we wanted to throw out here relating to Money, Time, Love. And that was, which band have we spent the most money on, or artist, the most time listening to, and who do we love the most? And I feel like that's a really good way to wrap up this whole discussion with all the artists, the influences, and then of course, Money, Time, Love.
Chime in the comments.
Yeah. Who you spent the most money on, who you spent the most time listening to, and who you currently love the most.
Okay.
That's really good.
All right, who
Man, we're
wants to
going to
start?
come back in 2 weeks here with some answers.
Yeah, I think. Well, let's start here. This is an easy one.
Continue.
This is an easy one. Who you spent the most money on? You're probably thinking who you've seen live the most, or the most expensive concert ticket.
Yep.
Like I know pretty easily. It's for me, Radiohead. I've seen them probably 5 times. I've bought every album of theirs.
Mhm.
But I think the 5 concert tickets that were not super cheap there.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy one for me.
The most expensive concert tickets I've ever paid for were Tom Petty and Paul McCartney. And those are top 5 for me.
Wait, who is more expensive?
I think McCartney was more expensive
So there you go.
because yeah. But I was just thinking I spent a decent amount because I wanted to get pretty close to Tom, and I was really glad that I saw him, and it was fantastic. He still had it. Wish he was still here. Now I'm getting sad because I would love to spend more time listening to his music. But we're gonna go McCartney for the most money.
Yeah, because the Beatles, you got to factor in Beatles albums.
True.
You probably spent.
I
stuff
think
on.
I've spent the most time with Tom Petty though, listening.
Yeah.
Just such a massive influence for me.
Oh, I can. Yeah, definitely. So are we going? Each one of us? Are we going to go down the line? Of,
I don't know. We're just
let's-
this
yeah,
is a
we're
new
just-
thing.
We're just shooting
We're
the shit,
riffing,
man.
Okay, let's
I don't even know what we're
start
talking about.
All right, let's go money. Who have you spent the most money on? And then we'll go to time. Then
cool.
love.
I've definitely seen probably 9 Inch Nails, Queens, and maybe Radiohead the most, but I've spent the most in one fell swoop on either Paul McCartney or U2 at the Sphere.
That's a good one.
The Sphere.
That's a good one.
I didn't get to see him at the Sphere, and it's
That
funny
was
because
probably the most expensive ticket. Yeah.
yeah, and I wouldn't say U2 is in my top. I don't love U2, but I've spent the most money now on
Yeah.
U2. Plus, I bought
And
that T-shirt for
I was
$50.
going to say the shirt was $50, and then the double tequila soda I bought.
Oh, that was
Ooh.
$90.
It was like $70. So that one show was like $500. But I'm going to probably go with, I think 9 Inch Nails is probably the most money I've spent. We've seen them way too many times. But Paul McCartney / the Beatles albums, which I've spent a lot of money on their vinyls over the years. I mean, probably the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's going to be the money. for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So then, okay, then. So you said Tom Petty. I can second that. You're big Tom
Big
Petty fan
TP guy.
since day one.
Ray
say-
Lynn says she spent the most money on 21 Pilots.
Ooh.
There we go.
They have some diehard fans.
Yep.
Put
Big
on
fans.
a hell of a show.
Yeah, great show, great songwriter.
They have
So
a new
I'll-
album that
I'll-
just dropped.
So
Sorry.
I'll answer the time one with 2 different ones. I'm going to say first off who I've seen the most times.
Mine's gonna be the same as yours.
It's the Noise FM.
The Noise FM, baby.
I have seen the
Did
Noise
we get
FM,
money for
Alex
that?
and Austin's. Yes,
Garrett-
you got my $3 cover to the
At the
replay.
replay lounge.
I
Garrett
have-
chimed in and said the Noise FM.
Yep, without a doubt, I have
Okay.
seen them the most amount of times. I think I've seen you guys play probably 30 times.
Which is funny. We never got any money for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
Our
yeah.
royalties haven't shown up yet for those.
I had fun. I was out in the crowd.
Yeah.
I knew the
Yep.
set in and out.
For those tuning in right now, Austin and I performed in a legendary band called the Noise FM.
Legacy band.
We're a legacy act.
Yes, that is a
1000%.
Kansas City, Chicago legacy band. Regionally, yes, absolutely, you guys are.
Legacy for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, so but then time listening to probably Radiohead. I was
Yeah.
a big fan as a teenager, and that's like when I really listened to music like religiously. I listened to those albums constantly. All right, so but I'm curious on you on time. Who do you listen
I
to the
know
most?
it's Collective Soul,
All
100%.
right.
It's
Yeah.
a be a toss up.
Great
Collective
answer.
Soul, Better Than Ezra, 9 Inch Nails or Pearl Jam, but I think it's probably going to be Collective Soul. Actually, they were my #1 artist on Spotify last year.
So yes,
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yes,
yes.
Collective Soul for
Collective Soul.
Alex.
Garrett just left the best comment. Isaac, Eric, and I have spent the most time seeing the Noise FM, and the Wards have spent the most money on the Noise FM.
That couldn't be more
For very
true.
little love.
Yes.
For little.
Well, I'm going to say that I love the Noise FM the most.
Oh,
that's
we
great,
love
that's
the Noise FM.
That's my love. You guys are my favorite band ever.
So
I
Austin,
hope you blow up.
What's your times at 9 Inch Nails?
Time. I mean, I feel like it's always just a cop out, but it'd be the Beatles. I definitely
Okay,
listen
cool.
throughout my life, even to this day, the Beatles the most. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Beatles.
But
All
who
right.
do you
That's a
love
good.
the
They were a
most?
good band though.
Okay, and then yeah.
Now, who do we love the most? Let's
Ooh,
say
okay.
let's say so we can maybe get some different answers. Let's say like at the moment right now, who do you
Okay.
love the most right now?
Vampire Weekend, baby.
Yeah,
I
their new
love
album's
Vampire
very
Weekend's
good.
new
For
album.
those who haven't heard the new Vampire Weekend, it's pretty damn good.
It is a
They're back with a nice
production
flair.
masterpiece.
Yeah,
Can we
production
get-
is
Not to go off far on a tangent, but isn't it something special when bands who have reached a certain level, legacy act, or are largely regarded around the world and very popular, and they're still pushing the envelope. I can
Yep.
think of like Beyonce when she put out Lemonade, for
Yeah,
example.
definitely.
It
Yeah.
was like, Jesus, like she's at the top of her game and she's still pushing stuff.
Yeah.
And
Did
I don't know if
every song had a music video.
Yeah.
That was groundbreaking.
and I don't know if Vampire Weekend, if this is the closest they'll get to their Kid A, but I was very impressed with the production direction they went
Wow.
for. They're
They did
swung for it.
not need to go so bold with the production. In fact, their fans
It's
some
off-putting.
might have appreciated if they didn't, and they just went all in on it. I think it's a really fantastic.
Much in the same way
record.
the last Fiona Apple record was very just like
So
she
cool.
went for an
Yeah.
aesthetic, and it was like, more power to you. I know this is going to alienate people, and some people are going to have a hard time getting into this, but what a
Yeah.
treat to see artists still. That's why they're artists.
Brilliant. And she's a true artist for
Yeah.
sure. Anytime she needed to make an announcement, she'd borrow her friend's Instagram account. What a legend.
That's
pretty
baller.
Love her
move.
early
Yeah.
records. My pops is in the chat, like father, like son, both repping for Tom Petty. And he
Hey,
is a
Jeff
big
Beck.
Jeff Beck fan. And I will say, we went to a show to see Jeff Beck at Starlight, and it was a perfect Kansas City night. Starlight's one of my favorites, dream venue to play.
Yep.
And that dude could have played for 10 hours, just a master
Yeah.
of his craft. And talk about, we don't want to get into jazz talk again here and,
Yeah.
and derail the show, but talk about not really understanding what someone's doing up there. It's really cool to see like a true master.
Was
of
it
their
just
craft.
Jeff Beck, or was he with like Steve Vai and what were they like?
Oh, yeah, just like
G3 or
a
whatever,
sh- a Shredders
Yeah,
convention?
Shredders convention.
No, it was just Jeff Beck and an amazing backing band.
Love
and a
it.
Perfect spring Starlight night for sure.
All right. And so with that said, Vampire Weekend was your answer.
No, we said love currently. Love currently.
All right. Love your.
I mean, yeah, I could say
Yeah.
love
No.
love the Police currently because
Yeah.
I've been deep diving on that again. But no, I love that new VW. It's great.
Who'd you say, Austin?
For Love, I mean that's tough. I do like the new Saint Vincent. Saint Vincent.
Saint
That's Sal.
Vincent.
The new Saint Vincent's pretty rad. I've always loved her, so she's back up on my top listening list again right now.
And she brought it. She came out of
she
the
brought
gates
it,
hot.
yeah. But I will have to. I mean, at the end of the day, who do you love right now? Who do you love?
Hembree.
I
Noise FM.
I'm gonna do a self applause. I ran a half marathon yesterday,
Yeah.
and
That was going to be the closer. We were going to make a
oh,
big
well,
old
it's fine. Well,
announcement about it.
here's the intro then. When prepping a playlist for the marathon, I was like, okay, who's gonna get me jacked up to keep me motivated, but also like what's a record that I just know front to back that's gonna like just let me zone out. And big surprise, I went with Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf. And let me tell you, flawless album. My new favorite band again.
It's Queens of the
Queens
Stone
of the
Age.
Stone Age, yeah.
Songs for the Deaf.
Well, I mean that album
For the
in
15th
particular,
year in a
that
row.
album's there. It's unbeatable. It's their
Yeah.
top of the line. But I think it was just a good reminder of like, oh man, there is a reason why I still like some of these bands, because like some of these albums and just in personal tastes are just so they're perfect. They're
Yeah,
timeless.
Timeless. I agree.
And then I did go into Rage Against the Machine, Evil
Oh,
Empire. So
ooh.
that
As a palate
also-
cleanser?
Yeah.
When
That
I
was-
bomb track, I know we're talking about that's track 1, right?
Evil Empire is Bulls on
Parade,
Parade,
is that
or
track one?
People of the Sun into Bulls on Parade.
Okay.
Ooh, talk
But-
about a double
Okay,
whammy.
but the record before Battle of Los Angeles.
That's the record after.
after.
Evil
Okay,
Empire.
is Bomb Track the first track? on
Bomb
that?
Tracks on self-title. That's their first album.
Okay,
If you guys
You
can't
know
tell,
the
we love a lot of
bomb
music.
track.
Yeah. We really, really love music.
but is Bomb Track a track 1?
Yes, on the
It
first album.
goes so hard.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so did you say
go
who you
hard.
Before we
love?
move on, Garrett in the chat, if you don't mind, Money Time Love, we'd love to hear your.
We'd love to hear from
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I'd love to hear from you in the chat so we
Yeah.
can get Garrett, the fifth Hembree to chime in on this.
Did you say what you love other than Noise FM and Hembree? Scores.
I was
and
really
love.
loving a band called Model Actress of this past year that I've really, really been inspired by and really loving what they're doing. And I'll give you two answers then. That's a younger up and coming band. And then the legacy act is Pearl Jam just put a new record out.
Mhm.
And while it's a solid record, it just made me remember there's a reason I love that band so much. They've just been so prolific, and they put their heads down and work, and they put a record out every couple years, and not a lot in the original lineup for the most part. Not a lot of bands are like that.
Yeah.
And it just made me realize like I love a story behind a band.
There's certain bands that stick out to me with you that you really ride for. Again, like you said, for their whole career. PJ is one of them. Then Collective Soul is another. We Are Scientists.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And then you went deep, and this is out of left field, but you had a deep Prince phase where you went and you sorted out every Prince banger.
We should share that. We will share that in the YouTube comments. I did on one of our tours, went through every Prince record and picked out what I consider to be the bangers. And it's over like 9 hours of music.
Yeah. He wrote a lot of music.
Hell of a career.
Yeah, a hell of a
Let me ask you
artist.
this. This is kind of just like riffing off of Money Time Love. Are there any artists who have passed away, Prince, that you would spend a massive amount of money to see?
Oh, I know mine.
I regret not going with Austin to see Tom Petty.
Yep.
Um,
You should regret that.
I regret that. I regret not seeing David Bowie when he used to tour
Yeah,
through
fair.
Chicago or Kansas City.
David Bowie, Nine Inch Nails tour.
Yeah, I can't believe we missed that. And then I would say Prince is on there. However, he was notorious for not always putting on a crowd pleasing show.
Okay. Like
So,
like almost a Bob Dylan.
if I'm going to gamble on my money, I don't know if Prince is the safest bet for the
Okay.
show I would see. Eric?
Are we gonna really start a new thing without finishing the last thing? Is my question.
Oh,
are
what
we
was the last
gonna
thing?
go?
Oh yeah, who do you love?
Who did you not answer it?
No, I did not.
There's so many of us.
I know we gotta keep track of this stuff here. I did want to give a shout out before I go into that. A shout out, an artist we just were talking about earlier in the stream. It's the Last Dinner Party that Austin showed us. I'm really, really into them. It's so exciting to have a new band, a young new band that is doing really cool stuff and just making cool band music. They got like
Definitely.
guitar solos.
Every now and then
they
you get
rock.
one. Wet Leg was cool, or is cool, but when
Yep.
they came out, it was like, man, this rocks.
And it's just fun, just something fresh. Because I mean, you know, I listen to a lot of the stuff I've been listening to for decades and wear that stuff out, but it's so fun and exciting to hear a brand new artist doing really cool stuff as a band. And it's just fun because you hear it and you can tell it's a band.
Yeah.
It feels like a band, and you see their videos and their pictures, and there's just they're so cool. And it reminds me something that, hey, bands are really cool.
And we've
it gets me
declared it a lot
excited.
on this podcast, but
Yep.
bands are back.
Bands are back, baby. And I love seeing them. They blew up at because they went to Coachella and they played an amazing set.
And we got
And,
someone who
yep.
just commented right here.
Yep.
They
Oh,
saw them
awesome.
at Coachella.
Oh, very
They
cool.
rule.
I heard it was an amazing show. So yeah, let
Hey,
us know
and
how
that's
that
really
was.
cool to hear about
Last
people.
Dinner Party and Tom Petty at Coachella. That's a hell of a lineup.
Hey, that would be
hologram.
a great show.
It is cool though.
Yeah.
Someone blowing up from a live performance.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen that often. It happened with Future Islands from
Yep.
Letterman. It's cool though in this era where everyone, look at us. We're live streaming on YouTube right now. This era where everything is so digital and online, and then
Yeah.
it still can happen. Someone sees a badass live show. That's pretty cool.
It is something cool about a band where you're just like, where you're watching a show and there's just so many like different personalities, and you're like watching all of them, where it's like you can watch a different person and get like a different show.
Yep.
And that's what's so fun when you're seeing a band that's really, really good and really, really talented. So yeah, that's just that I get pumped up because it is. I feel like sometimes we can be a little bit jaded with new stuff, or like you feel like you've heard everything or everything's been done, but it's always just so exciting when you hear a new band and then you just listen to them over and over and over, and you just fall in love with them. So yeah, that's been really, really fun the last couple of weeks.
Love that.
I see someone on the comments also said thoughts on System of a Down. And I will say that was
Thumbs up.
that was also on
Yep.
the run
Yep.
playlist for the half marathon was Toxicity. So
The whole record?
yeah, but I only made it through a couple tracks.
Nice.
But-
Because
Well,
you ran
you
so
finished
fast.
Oh,
fast.
I don't care if you don't like the band. They are unobjectively amazing.
Oh,
Yep.
they're
It's
so
just
sick.
one of those things. If you don't care for their sound or whatever, they're incredible.
Yeah, they just played the Vegas showcase this weekend. That sick
Sick
world,
Cruel World
sad
Fest.
world.
We had every
whatever.
cool band
Yeah,
ever.
they were the headliners again.
Oh, that's
System of a
great.
Down,
I
yeah.
thought you were talking about the Sphere.
Oh,
They just played that Vegas thing, whatever
the
that's
Sphere, I've
called.
seen
that
the
would be
Sphere.
pretty tight.
Let's wrap this up. Who I think we needed to go back, or did we get all the love?
We got all the loves now. It's okay. Let's do a little rundown here. So, what was your Money Time Love then for the bands? Do you even remember?
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Um,
It
Probably
changes
Collective Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could just say our real favorite bands. Yours is Collective Soul.
No,
Mine's
no,
probably-
I can't say that's our favorite band.
My favorite band's Radiohead.
There's Radiohead.
Yeah.
Mine's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
That's all okay. That's all
Yeah.
we really need to
The
get
Beatles / Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say I'll
that's
go
all.
9 Inch Nails / Pearl Jam at this point.
to. That's all you guys really needed. Who are we
Look, I'm
bullshitting
just
here?
looking to talk to people about a 4.5-hour Tom Petty documentary. Hit me up. I'll chat.
All right, we're coming up on an hour. It's a good time to wrap. I've got to feed
Yep.
the cats, so
I got to eat dinner.
So we got a couple things, some business, some band business
Oh,
you
yeah,
want to wrap
band
up
business
with?
while you're still here. Speaking of real rock and rollers, amazing band, massive band, Kaleo is taking us out for a few shows. We're really stoked
DJ
about that.
Khaled.
Yeah. I had to. Alex said DJ Khaled. I said no, it's Kaleo. They both have songs with 1 billion streams. We're really thrilled about it. We're playing the House of Blues in Cleveland, and we are playing the Roxian Theater, I believe, which is in the general Pittsburgh area.
Cool.
We're
Ooh,
really
love
excited
that
about it. They're
pit.
actually
Pittsburgh, Kansas.
talk about
Love
Pittsburgh,
it.
Kansas. They're actually
Pittsburgh
going
with an H.
Hometown
Yes.
show.
Yeah, they're actually going out with doing some shows with the Rolling Stones and then with us. So that should be
They're opening for us.
Yeah.
Stones are opening for us.
yeah. It's good. Like they're going to play together, and then we're going to come close down the stadium.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's coming up in October, and we just might be announcing a few more shows right around the corner. So stay tuned.
Can we say
Oh, we can't talk about them.
Oh, sure.
Friday
Whatever.
show? Kansas City
Uh,
friends, pay attention. Big
yeah.
announcement coming.
Big announcement coming for you,
And-
Kansas City people.
Chicago friends,
And Chicago friends, maybe there's a big announcement.
Chicago, and
Maybe Davenport.
Davenport.
We're
Friends.
the hit
Los
cities.
Angeles. Yeah. Hembree's greatest hit.
We're just doing the greatest markets.
And we're also happy to report that after a year of doing this podcast very infrequently,
We've got a
and
sponsor,
We've got a sponsor.
Casper Mattress.
Casper Mattress. Thank you to Casper Mattress. Austin was running next to the CEO
Yeah.
in the Ventura Marathon and sealed this deal for us yesterday.
I locked it in.
All the podcasts are going to be coming to Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. We're going to make this thing a reality because we've actually realized that we do really love talking about music, hearing what music you all are listening to, and sharing our favorite music with you guys.
Yeah. Anything else? So it's,
I think
I think
no,
we
real
crushed
quick.
it.
I think do you have the sped up version we're about to drop?
Oh,
yeah, we're
yes,
gonna close with that.
Let's close with this.
All right, we'll close with the sped up
So
version.
to close it out, if anyone's not familiar, there's a pretty popular trend on TikTok and social media where bands are putting out the sped up version of their song at 1.5 speed. Honestly, we think it's pretty silly, but we went ahead.
What's
and
the
did
reason
it
for it, and
fun.
why is it popular?
People make videos to it.
I think it's an attention span thing. The song
Yeah,
is
song's
faster, and also
shorter.
a faster song is more exciting.
Yeah.
And I just think it's that's my theory. If anybody really knows,
Money
a
Time
deeper-
Love is a real up tempo song. So let's show these people.
not fast enough, apparently. Not
So
fast enough.
We're gonna
Apparently.
do another world premiere right now. It's the sped up version. of
Normally, we
Money
would end
Time
with
Love.
the theme song. We're going to end with the 1.5 version of Money Time Love.
So download this and post it on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Before it's deleted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. 100% Music Podcast. Money Time Love. Share it.
Grew up with the world was shaking. Kicked drum downstairs in the basement. Had a band, you probably could have made it. Got a job, now you really kinda hate it. It's not enough, oh, it's not enough. Are you giving up? Are you giving up? I know you can't help yourself, but you're starting to look like you're someone else who wants money. Everybody needs a little money to get by. We all need time. Everybody needs a little time. In this life, we all want love. Everybody wants to get fun. Sometimes that's alright. That's just life. That's just life. Don't go let that slip by. Right now you won't stop. Mind racing on your face, thinking you got a big house with a skylight window. Staring up, oh God, but your friends go. It's not enough, oh, it's not enough. Are you giving up? Are you giving up? I know you can't help yourself. You're starting to look like you're someone else who wants money, money. Everybody needs a little money. Everybody needs a little money to get by. We all need time. Everybody needs a little time. In this life, we all want love. Everybody wants to get love. Sometimes that's alright. That's just life. That's just life.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.